how to be less boring on YouTube. So I think when it comes to being less boring, this is actually just a personal opinion of yourself. You think you're boring, but you know what? Chances are someone might find you interesting. So I think that this is more of an opinion piece in that you think you suck and that you're dry. But you know what? Now people love falling asleep to boring people. So maybe, just before we tackle this, maybe being boring is a good thing. Okay, I'm not saying that being boring is a bad thing. Maybe you have a nice, deep, low voice. Like, I have a very calming voice. And if I get too over the top and too entertaining, and then it gets a little bit crazy, and then I become, like, weird. Yeah, my nose is itchy. But anyway, it becomes over the top and inauthentic. So maybe you just have to get really comfortable with the fact that this is how you sound, and you just keep doing it. And there's going to be a bunch of those people out there who are like, I'm going to download your stuff and watch your stuff because you help me fall asleep. And I need that. Hey, good. You could be that person. So being boring, I think, has a place. Just like introversion, all that kind of stuff. It's not really that bad. It's not that bad. It's not a problem at all. But if you are not aware that you're boring and you just keep being boring and you don't own it, well, then it's a huge problem, because then you're just boring and nobody is interested in your stuff. You're boring and annoying. I don't know if this is going to be any good or anything, but okay, so maybe you're boring. You're boring and people aren't paying attention and nobody cares about what you're saying and it's a disaster. Well, one, maybe you're just getting started, okay? Maybe you just started creating videos and you haven't figured out your voice. You're not comfortable yet. You don't exude that confidence, the confidence that can help you overshadow the boringness, if that's a word, that you exude. So you just have to keep creating and get used to this being in front of the camera or being in front of people. Just get used to this sound of your voice. You get used to the sound of your voice, and then you can get really confident in your delivery. You know, you can have some speaking classes as well. I think those are okay. A lot of people recommend speaking classes. Hey, Warren Buffett, he said the best thing he did was a speaking class. Go do a speaking class. Could help you out. Another thing is to keep creating content that pushes your voice out there. Look, the best thing that you can do is speak in front of a bunch of people or in front of the camera and do that day in, day out. A speaking class will help you with it'll help you with the delivery. It'll help you with some of the mechanics. But don't make it like a long-term thing like Alcoholics Anonymous, where you're just going every single day. Because then you might get so inside your head that it becomes very rehearsed, you know? Then you're like memorizing. You're memorizing what you say, and then it's very robotic, and you always sound the same way. And then actually, speaking class can make you boring because you're now less authentic. I want to see the errors and the rawness from you, because that's what's going to draw me in. That's where I'm going to be like, whoa, I want to hear more. I'm tired of somebody who's reading from their cue cards, or they're literally processing the words that they memorized on the spot and regurgitating what they've been saying. So then it's like, blah, 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 blah. Forget it. I don't want that. So figure out the mechanics of the speaking and don't beat yourself up. Get comfortable with it. You're going to sound weird to yourself, that's for sure. Get used to the fact that you sound weird to at least yourself and probably to a bunch of other people. And someone's going to tell you that you sound weird. And good. Forget them. Because there's some things you can't change. The sound of your voice is not something you should change. Unless you want to become, I don't know, transgender and you want to start injecting hormones into you to make you sound different. I don't know. You want to do that, go for it. But you don't have to. Get used to the fact that this is how you sound like. Accept it. Own it. Just own it. And then put the stuff out there. Put it out. Put your crap out there. Over time, you'll get better and better and better and better with practice. I'm really crappy at this. I don't feel comfortable talking to anyone. I'm extremely reclusive and I'm an introvert. I don't have a lot of conversations with people. So, how do I get comfortable? Well, I talk to my phone or to the camera or whatever, and I just keep talking to the point where I'm able to be comfortable with the mechanics of my voice. You can have different things, right? So you can change, if you're doing this monotone voice and you're realizing, oh shit, I sound monotone. Well, what you could do is look at commas as a way to stop, breathe, and then continue. Look at every comma as you're speaking as a break in your. So here's my speaking class for you. This is what I picked up from all the speaking videos that I've watched. Is that you look at the commas as the end of the sentence, and that's where you breathe in. Breathe in through your nose, but don't get too obsessed with the idea that maybe you're breathing through your mouth or whatever. If you're like me, like my nose is full of inflammation. So I have like sinus issues. So sometimes I'm breathing through my mouth. Whatever. Eventually, I'll probably get used to this idea of breathing in with my nose. You breathe out with your mouth. Breathe in with your nose. Because that helps you, I guess. It's supposed to help you somehow. I don't know. I'm not a speaking coach, but it helps you with your ability to speak in the flow of things. But a lot of people, they sort of sit in an octave in how they speak, right? So they're like, hey, this is how I speak, and this is where I'm at, and I'm always... They don't really go down or low or up. Yeah. They don't try to sound like a child going through puberty, but they probably should. You should probably look at trying to change your voice and go up and down and up and down. And try to just get so silly with your voice. That's okay, whatever. Because then you become more dynamic in the delivery. And don't be worried about taking pauses. Don't feel like you always have to be talking all the time. Otherwise, YouTube algorithms won't like the pauses in my video, or people will leave my video. Oh no. I don't think it's a bad idea. You need to have some pauses. Good. Also be aware when you say like too much, like, whatever, try to reduce that. Unless you want to sound like an annoying millennial. I'm a millennial, so I feel like I can sort of knock them. Or don't say or I'm still trying to work on those things. Try to avoid those, because that just ruins it. Makes you sound a little less intelligent, I guess. Try to avoid those by replacing them with pauses. That's the secret. Pauses. Those are a few tips, I guess. You don't have to go in front of an audience to get comfortable in front of a camera. You can just do it on the camera. Get used to it. Put the videos out there. Just see what happens. People are going to tell you that you suck. Good. Because it means you're actually trying. You're trying to get improved in your delivery. And what are they doing? They're busy complaining about you in the comment stream. It doesn't really matter about them. They're already behind. They're behind the 8 ball. You're busy perfecting your craft. Whereas they are busy complaining. That's no good. You don't really want to complain. You want to look, you want to diagnose, you want to be self-aware of how you deliver. Maybe just fix things. Also, it helps you just sort of move your hands around. Just get silly with it. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. It really doesn't. Because, hey, as long as you find yourself exciting, that's the first step. Because if you're confident in how you sound, others will get it. They will get it and they'll be like, yeah, he's confident in his boring approach. Awesome. I like his delivery. It's nice that I'm not hearing a video with background audio and loud noises and splashes and different pop-ups and things. It's refreshing that somebody's finally just speaking. It's refreshing. I don't mind that. And you know what? With the podcast popularity that's growing, I think you get a lot of people out there now who are boring and who are doing so well because they now can be comfortable with their boring approach. People will listen. People will go on the podcast and download your sleepy time videos. It's great. Bueller. It's great. Hey, that guy is successful, wasn't he? So, it's okay. It's okay if you sound boring. Get that in your head. Once you do, you can get beyond this lack of confidence and self-limiting sort of beliefs and all that kind of garbage. You can get beyond it and just keep creating and having fun. I have fun just sitting on my red couch talking. Even if nobody watches this, I don't care. I really don't. But if somebody does watch this and they're like, hey, yeah, he's right. I can be boring and I can still make it all work. Yeah, great, cool, yeah. That's what you gotta do to be less boring on YouTube. Is just accept your delivery, and then create. Put your hands in the air like you just don't care, and then you'll be on your way. I don't know, there's a few tidbits in there. Some of it was good, some of it maybe not so much. Hopefully it helps. If it does, cool. Share this with other people who are like really weird and maybe not comfortable in front of the screen. Let them know it's totally okay. Hey, the more people we get being weird on YouTube, the better. Because isn't that the best? Okay, until next time, toodles.